Yay! I'm in DK. I'm in Denmark. I'm home. My traveling is done. I don't know if I should be moving, but hey, I'm glad to be home definitely, and it's about time, to be honest. What's been happening? Yeah, I left you guys off more than a month ago, and there's a good reason for that, because the internet in South America is crap. So yeah, that's the main reason I didn't upload anything yet. But it's been good. I left off in New York, and since New York I went to Colombia. I flew from New York to Bogota, and from Bogota to Santa Marta. And in Santa Marta I spent a couple of days at a hostel called the Dreamer. Went diving, went with some guys to a waterfall. I had a good time, partying a bit too, which was nice. And then yeah, I went on the Lost City Trek in Colombia to the old city of Tarragona, and out there, the hike out there through the jungle is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's great. That's what I'm trying to say. It's awesome. The hike in itself is awesome. And no, I booked the 5-day trek, but we did it in 4 days because people felt like it weren't worth it doing it 5, and it just takes longer, and you walk the same amount and the same stuff anyways. So what you do, you walk 2 days out and 2 days back, same trek. And as I said, the hike in itself was amazing, and to me the city was amazing too. It was just these big stone circles that was there. Yeah, of course they were there. That was out in the middle of the jungle, in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they apparently used to build their houses on these circles. It was pretty cool. It was like in the heights, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, and then we went back, and I took a bus down to Cartagena, and in Cartagena I started my tour with Drogoman. And the tour with Drogoman went all the way from Cartagena to Quito in Ecuador, and the main parts that I really liked about that part of that trip was of course Cartagena is a lovely city, and I really enjoyed Manizales, which not much the city Manizales, but outside Manizales we were at a coffee farm, and the coffee farm was it was really cool seeing how they made coffee and that kind of stuff. We also went to Medellin, which was a great city to go partying, and that was a lot of fun too. And yeah, and then we went to Cali as well, and the Chiva bus that we had there was pretty good. Although the bad part about Cali for me was that I got robbed. So they got off with $40, and I'm okay. But it was still kind of sad to be robbed. But yeah, and what else? Well, of course, there's a lot of stuff in Colombia, but I won't bother you with all the details. I'm not a big fan of the concept of being on a tour, to be honest. I found out as I went. The whole being stuck with going from, like, you have a certain amount of days there, and then you need to go to the next place and have a certain amount of days there, and yeah, it's great for some people and apparently not for me. But we all figure out things as we go. I really also, when we drove into Ecuador, the first ones were in Colombia. When we drove into Ecuador, we went to a city called Otavalo, which was a market town, and that was great for me because it was cheap. It was a lot of nice stuff, and it was also fairly cheap compared to what it would be back home at least. And I got a hell of a lot of souvenirs, so I'm really glad about that. And yeah, then we went to Quito, and in Quito we didn't do much in Quito. We went to the equator of the fake equator line. Too bad with the fake one. They apparently missed the real equator line by 200 meters or so. Rather stupid actually, but hey, it's okay. But we definitely crossed to the southern hemisphere, and down there we had a bit of a party saying goodbye to each other with the Drogoman group, and then I met up actually while our partying I met Sophie from Esberg, which is where I live. So that was super weird, but it's kind of cool too. And yeah, and then went to the next group, the G Adventures tour, went on the local living with them, and that was quite the experience. It was great. It was really, really good. Oh my god, that was good. But it's just whoa! It was so different going out to their homes in the middle of the jungle. The first day we had like a mud face thing where they just used the normal mud of the river, and then the next day we went on a waterfall hike. That was the best part of all. The waterfall hike was so good. We went up and up this river and just followed up and climbed over the waterfalls, and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. Went to the animal rescue center the next day. It was a bit away, but it was okay. It was not super exciting. The animals, you couldn't see them most of the time because they had big cages or whatever. But it was still, and it was a nice project, and tried to support it by buying some stuff there. And yeah, this last day we went to the children's school that was being established because G Adventures had the trips going out there. So, and that it was pretty fun playing football with the kids and trying to introduce yourself in Spanish, even though my Spanish is very broken and pretty much non-existent. It was still fun. And then the end of the day we did a canyon, oh not a canyoning, a river rafting, and I did it in a inflatable canoe. So that was a lot of fun. And it was only type 3 river rafting, but it was just so fun because you were in that the little canoe by yourself. The others were in the raft, but I was in the little canoe by myself, and you're just like in there, and every wave seems gigantic. Well, that was a lot of fun too. And yeah, and then back to Quito, take a plane from Quito to Lima to Cusco. Used the first day in Cusco, partying for Halloween, dressed up as a mountain. I'll try and see if I can get a picture out of that, but I don't know if I can find one. And but it was great fun for sure. And yeah, then I went on the Inca Trail, and the Inca Trail is very beautiful, definitely. The first day was not that much to talk about. Well, we went to the Sacred Valley on the first day, to be honest. It was still again with G Adventures, but the Sacred Valley show was nice. But the real thing I came for was the Inca Trail, and so we went on the Inca Trail, and the first day was really relaxing. We only walked for like 3 or 4 hours, I think. Got to the camp, which the porters set up for you. We had 35 porters carrying all us, like most of our stuff, tents, cooking gear, food, everything. And they had to be porters, like men carrying big bags. They could maximally carry 20 kilos each, which they obviously did then. And yeah, it was, they were pretty hard. They pretty much just ran the entire trek. The fastest one who ever did it was 3 hours and 45 minutes, and we do it in 4 days. So that's cool. But yeah, then the second day was going over Dead Woman's Pass. And Dead Woman's Pass is the highest part of the trip. It's 4,215 meters, I think. And yeah, you go up there, and you ascend 1,100 meters within a few hours, and then you have to go a bit down again. And we did that, and started at we got up at 5 and started walking at 7 or 6, I'm not sure. And we're at camp at 1, so we had a long day's rest afterwards. But it was okay. The next day though was my favorite day. That was day 3, and you go by all these Inca sites, and they're all these. It's amazing what those Incas can do. I mean, like the way they drag rocks up in the middle of the mountains, and it's just, yeah, I really get why people are impressed with the Incas, because they did some amazing stuff. But yeah, walking all the way through there, the last part of the thing we went to on day 3 was the Inti Pate, I think it was called. It was like this big farm area, and they have like these terraces going up where they had farms on, and it was just, one thing was looking at the view from up there, which was amazing, but the other half was like looking at it from afar, just seeing these like stone steps up the wall of the mountain. It's amazing. So on the last fourth day, we got to we went to Machu Picchu and the Sun Gate, and we had to get up at 3 because the porters had to get to the train with their backpacks pretty early to catch the train and go back and start with the next group. But yeah, they so we packed up and sat ready at about 3:30 at the gate, and it didn't open until 5:30, so it was a long wait. But nonetheless, we started walking at 5:30, and it was not an amazing hike. It took me about 35 minutes to get up there, and up at the Sun Gate, it was just clouds, so we didn't see Machu Picchu from the Sun Gate. Neither did the sun come up through the Sun Gate anyways, so we wouldn't have seen the sun coming through it, because that has to be at 21st July, I think it is. So, but the sun was like in a completely different position. But anyways, as we started going down to Machu Picchu, we got a view of Machu Picchu, and definitely it is amazing. Machu Picchu is very, very beautiful, and when we got down there, it's just stunning. This cloud started clearing out, and we like walked around and saw the city, and it's definitely an amazing city. Even though they haven't finished, like Incas did never finish it, it was still really, really amazing. The one part that really got to me though was they let in about between 2,500 and 3,000 people every day, so it's stuffed with people, and yeah, it was definitely amazing, but there's too many people there. It's just, and well, yeah, it was great anyways. And yeah, and then long flight home, 2 days of traveling first, going from Cusco to Lima to Bogota. In Bogota they almost wouldn't let me get on the plane because they couldn't find my ESTA. So eventually, like 15 minutes before the plane left, we made me a new ESTA, and I got on the plane anyways. I was a bit afraid I weren't going to get on the plane there for a moment. But got to the United States, got admitted, and then we're in the airport from 5 to 8. I just sat and waited for the plane to take off. The first 11 of the hours was just sitting in a queue. Some part of the time I snuck into a VIP lounge and slept on the couch there because nobody used it. But anyways, it was a long wait, and it was very, very boring. Got a bit further in my book, but you know. And yeah, took the plane, New York, Keflavik, Copenhagen, and got greeted by my parents. And here I sit in my old room in Denmark and waving a Danish flag because I'm home. And yeah, I hope I'll see all of you guys soon. At least the Danish ones, I hope I'll see you guys real soon, and the rest of you. Good luck on your travels if you're still going, and good luck with getting on more travels because I know you want to. And I'll see you guys around.